Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with the Locals, a show where we talk about soccer, but take a deeper dive into getting to know people, not only in our supporters group, but other folks too that share the same love, share the same interest, and really just interesting people that we want to bring on the show and maybe have a beer with. There's zero requirements. Okay, we have a very interesting show for you tonight that producer extraordinaire, Mr. John Cross, has labored over to make happen. Mr. John Cross, thank you very much. Grab your popcorn, grab your chips, grab your red vines, grab whatever comfort food you need to make yourself happy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Kicking It with the Locals. Before we get started, though, my name is Sal, local number 73. We also have our other host, a man who I think inspired the most interesting man in the world, Mr. Marklin Retzer.
Thanks, Sal. Great to be here. Stoked for the chat tonight.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. The whole theme of the show is to really reach out to the supporters groups, not only here in San Diego, but, throughout the country. And, John Cross has done a great job of coordinating with our guest today, who I'd like to introduce. You know what, John, how are you doing, John? Before we go into
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Cool. Nice to see you, sir. And now, without any further ado, Mr. Steve Hitz, El Presidente for FC Tulsa, 83 United, right? Did I get that right?
Yes.
United Supporters Group. How are you, sir?
Great. How are you guys?
Doing well. We're here to just talk to you. Let's share a little bit about the love of the sport that we all call soccer, football, whatever it is you might call it. Let's start here, man. Let's start off by giving us a brief intro about FC Tulsa, who they are, maybe for the people that, might have an idea or don't know or whatever. Why don't we start off there? Tell us about FC Tulsa.
Well, FC Tulsa, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the flyover states. So we were founded in 2015. The Roustabouts, which is the predecessor of 83 United, were founded as well. We are also a 501c3 nonprofit organization as well. So I'm the current president. I was just elected in this year. So I've been there been a member since 2018 as a board member, and then became president this year. So.
Nice. That's super cool hearing the story behind everything, and I think a lot of us kind of share the same kind of a journey and stuff. Why don't you talk to us about how you became involved with FC Tulsa and how you became, a part of 83 United? Like, where did that start off from? And, and really, if you want to go into the details about like how your love for soccer really happened, because everybody has a story, everybody has a journey.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Talk to us about what you want.
Yeah, I first started soccer when I was 5 years old. I've played all the way through my 20s and stuff. And every once in a while, I still come out and do some Supporters Cup challenges. But I first found out about FC Tulsa in 2016. And a buddy of mine, we went and watched a couple of games, and we were hooked. The supporters at the time, the Roustabouts, just took us in open arms and everything, just the love of the game, and just I've been hooked ever since, and I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon.
Absolutely, yeah, I feel the same way, Marklin. I don't know how it was for you, man, but I'm the same way. Once you get hooked, it's
once we're hooked, we're hooked.
Yes, absolutely.
Steve, is there any overall feel with the team before we get into the supporters group? A team thing that you would like to communicate to us, because I know I don't know a whole lot about FC Tulsa, and so I'm guessing our members also are going to be in that same category. So help us know a little more about the team.
Well, we just had a new coach come in this season. we had Michael Encian, who is actually now the U16 for the national team. He's the current coach for them. He was there for about 4 years. They ever since then is I'm trying to figure out what to say now.
It's all good.
He's brought Blair Gavin has brought in a more athletic type of squad this year, more offensive squad. So hopefully we'll see that this weekend.
Great. And is there anything as far as about the experience in the stands? I mean, I'm sure 83 United brings a lot to that. But
we
as
definitely we definitely bring the noise. All the fun stuff, flags, tifos, anything we can get and sometimes sneak in. So
Hey, and Steve, I know it's like San Diego has a weird relationship with the city. I mean, this is my opinion too, right? We all got opinions about how we perceive things or whatever, but my perception is that, San Diego, they call it like one of the biggest markets of soccer, and like we should have an MLS team. Why don't we have it? It's like, and it's so true, and it sucks sometimes when you think about it, but like, what's the relationship like with the FC Tulsa and the city, and like what's the overall sentiment like? How does it, do you guys like have like a vibe with that, like like I don't know,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's always people that don't think the USL Championship is a professional league because we're tier 2. So there's always people with why aren't you MLS, and it's everywhere. But truthfully, a lot of us, we're okay with not being MLS. We're not a big enough city to be an MLS team. And you've got us, the FC Tulsa, and there's also Tulsa Athletic here, which is an MPSL team that we played last night. But I don't think anybody really is ready for the MLS with here. So we're just happy being in the championship right now.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that seems to be like the consensus, right? Because there are camps here in San Diego that also have like the sentiment of, yeah, you know what, we don't need freaking MLS. We're good with what we have, and and it's that the feeling that I get, and Marklin and John, I don't know if you guys agree, but there's a lot of sense of community within the club, within the supporters group, and with the way that the team becomes involved with community things. Do you guys have experience kind of the same thing? Like, do you guys have?
Yeah, definitely. From the club down, management, owners group to, from the chairman, being around, talking to people last night, to the team hanging out and just almost goofing off with us after the game last night. And from the supporters groups, building up and then feeding into that, giving the feedback and the connection with management and with the team, so that having that sense of community and that communication back and forth. I don't know that we'd be able to have that with an MLS team, but I appreciate it while it's here, and we will keep appreciating it. Speaking of last night, I didn't get to say earlier, I was really happy, yes, for the win, but overall, I didn't lose my voice. I get to be here. We were bringing some noise, and so happy to be here talking with y'all. Steve, as far as like a game day, tell us about a game day with 83 United.
Okay, well, Well, my day starts off early, but that's, doing the tailgates. We tailgate obviously before every match, but mainly not on the weekdays. It's kind of difficult on that. But we provide food, alcoholic beverages, any beverages, for free to all members and non-members too. Everybody's welcome.
I don't think we do anything like that. We don't give out free food, do we?
Well, we're at Grandma's house.
That's our nickname for a stadium.
For the stadium, because we're on a stadium on a college campus, and instead of our own, we follow their rules, and that means no tailgating at Grandma's house.
But we're allowed to tailgate right outside One Oak, which is the stadium we're playing, in the heart of downtown. So it's kind of nice having to deal with that and stuff. And like I said, we definitely provide food, beverages, anybody that comes in. I mean, we charge our members, our fees are like $10 for the entire year. And that provides all the food and everything. So
that is super cool. Yeah, it's like having like that sense of, I don't know, like going to the games, and I'm sure it's like that for you, or maybe even tell us, like, going to the games, it feels like you're in a family almost. It's like big enough to feel like you're in a huge game, but it's still like very small, and I love that.
Oh, definitely.
That small feel. So one of the things I wanted to bring up, Steve, and it was, so you guys have a derby, right? With one of your biggest rivals. And something that I want to talk about is that 4-foot wrench, man. Like, talk to me about that. I don't think do we have anything like that, John or Markland, like with our rivals? We don't have a,
we do not, no.
We do not, but these guys do, and I want to hear about this, man. This is super cool. I want to hear like where it started and all that, man. Like, go into those details.
Well, it started at our inaugural year. We both us and Oklahoma City, rest in peace. We bought a wrench together. We spray painted it, and it's an actual wrench. It is a 50-pound wrench.
So cool.
It is an oil wrench, which both of us are, in Oklahoma it's oil capital. So it kind of tied in with us and the Roughnecks, with energy. And, the end of the season or end of the games, which whoever won passes the wrench. We got it in 2017, but lost it in 2018, and in 2020 got it back again, and still in possession with it for quite a long time until they come back.
So there's no like stealing. I forget what derby that was. I think it was a college football where somebody stole something and they like,
yeah.
You guys don't have that going on.
No, there's a couple times it's been graffitied on, best way to say it. But both of us end up just spray painting it to our team colors. So nice. It's been gold for 5 years now.
That is so cool.
3 years.
We need to start something like that. Maybe that's like the where this idea is going to be spawned from. I hope it can. I don't know what it would be. I don't know if it can be a wrench.
Who, like we're developing some rivalships. I don't know that we don't have an in-town derby.
Yeah.
I mean, like OC, Orange County, and Phoenix, I think are biggest ones, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I would say they are, mostly due to proximity.
Yeah, exactly. And then LA, LFC when we play them. I think it's more just like hating them. Right? Oh man. So Steve, one of the things that we talk about, that way we talked about too on the show, is what is your local, right? And so what that means to us is like, what is the place, where's the place that you guys go to, or your place, like in Tulsa, or, the neighborhood that you go to for, whatever it could be, a beer or food or whatever. Like, talk to us about those places that are that.
Yeah, definitely. The original, and it still is, the Empire Bar is actually the soccer bar. It's everything soccer.
Nice.
That's been there for a while. I
Empire,
at least 20 plus years. Here recently, one of our members, Justin Brocky, he has purchased a couple of local establishments, the Tulsa, and it's just down the street from One Oak. So after games and stuff, definitely everybody swings over in there. Also, the Tulsa Athletic Club, we call it the TAC. That's where we do all of our watch parties and stuff. It's all ages, and they have like 3 or 4 pickleball courts and everything. So definitely all sports related and easy, and with all ages, anybody can get there.
Nice. Yeah. So we'll have to put that in the comments, John. For I don't know do we have anybody going out to Tulsa for? Any
it won't be for this year since they're in the East. This is the one time we play this season, but
that'll be cool.
Likely next year we will. And this is part of this also, so we can also know if we ever come out, where do we get to hang out?
Definitely.
Who do we look for?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are always. I know in San Diego we have the same kind of spots, where the football, soccer bars or whatever you want to call them, and I think every city should have one or should have a place like that.
Definitely.
Ones here in San Diego, everybody congregates at them, and they know which ones they are and stuff. And that just like you, I've never been to this place, but I have an idea of what it's like. You know what I mean? And that's super cool. It's super cool having that kind of like that bond of understanding.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Cool, and the post-game visits, that's awesome. And it's great that you've got a member connection too.
Yes, definitely.
Nice.
So I'd like to follow up on this and ask you, Steve, a little bit about what is it like being a soccer fan in Tulsa? Because we are lucky, I guess, in the sense being right on the border, right? We have a heavy influence from south of the border, but we also have a huge pockets of, expats from all over Europe here. So we have quite the eclectic mix, and we have lots of soccer places and soccer bars because there are ones that cater to specific Premier League teams or Scottish teams, right? So besides, La Liga teams as well. So I'm just curious, if I was to go visit Tulsa and I wanted to go hang out and watch some soccer or hang out with some soccer people, what's it like being, or what is the soccer culture like, I guess, in Tulsa? And you could go anywhere from watching or youth groups or anything along those lines.
All I've ever known is, and I'm pretty sure it's with in San Diego and everything, is it's open arms. Everybody just loves to spread the joy of the sport. And I mean, like the Empire Bar, that's where the national teams, that's where our watch parties are. And it is like overflowing capacity. Everybody's just trying to get in there. There's, with us, and we have the MPSL team, Tulsa Athletic, both of us, and it's just, that's that love-hate relationship with, we just love to hate you, but we still love you.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean, it's exciting.
That's
I wanted, we did get a question here in the chat from one of our locals members.
Oh, Dylan.
So we have an awful lot of taco burrito conversations with people around the country of who has good Mexican food, because we certainly appreciate our Mexican food here. So as Dylan asked, if I wanted to get some tacos in Tulsa, where should I go?
Well, definitely on the east side of Tulsa. There is a plethora of taco trucks. Actually, my daughter-in-law runs a taco truck as well. So if you want burrito style, definitely the red taco. But there is, I mean, Don Francisco. There's a lot of Hispanic culture here in Tulsa as well. So it's. I mean, you can basically throw a stone somewhere and you'll find a taco truck.
All right.
That's cool. That's kind of sparked another question in my head. So one of the regional foods that, I mean, I think it's not even regional. It's more like just San Diego, because I have relatives in LA and all that. And they tell me that the carne asada burritos are not the same as they are in San Diego. And so me just saying that, I know Marklin and John are probably salivating just thinking about the burrito.
I had one for dinner tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Exhibit A. Is there and it doesn't have to be Mexican food, but is there something from Tulsa that, if we go out and visit, that we can go and say, you know what, I've had something from this city, or from, its origin is here? No.
I mean, if you go locally, I mean, anything deep fried is perfect, because,
Nice.
we got the chicken fried steak and stuff like that. But I can't say anything. You definitely the hot dogs, because
Okay.
if you know anything with us and the Tulsa Lunatics, we definitely love our hot dogs. And Coney Islander, which is, New York style Islander hot dogs, chili and everything, and they're amazing.
That sounds good, man. If I get out to a game out there, I will definitely ask for one of those.
Definitely.
Steve, I want to hop back into the game day experience. Once the game's on, do you all have? Are there traditions I'm sure you're going to have some chants or something. Do you have drums? How do you bring the noise? Is there something you do at a certain minute? Is there a thing that's always going to happen? Or tell us about that.
We definitely always start off with our Viking clap, TULSA, for the beginning of games. One of the things we haven't really done in a while, but it's still fun, in the 83rd minute, is we were the champions, the national champions in the 83.
Oh, nice. Cool. That is cool. Hey, so Steve, I got another question for you too. So the relationship between the supporters group and the team is pretty, in my opinion, it's pretty good here. It's pretty tight. They stop and talk to people and all that. What's the relationship like with the supporters group and the players? I'm sure it's
not to put you on the spot or anything.
Yeah. I don't want any intimate details.
Actually,
you know what I mean? I can say
we are really good with the FO and the team. I mean, they'll show up to the Tulsa and stuff like that after games sometimes, or on the weekends when they're not playing. They're very open. It's not, it's a very friendly atmosphere. Especially with the FO, we ask and see, can we do this? And then that works great. They just want the environment, the soccer environment to reign through on it.
That is cool. Yeah, I know. And I like that part of it too, especially with the small, we're smaller clubs, and you would expect that too, I would hope, if, I don't know, kind of speaking from a loyal supporter now, but my hope is that they keep that. A lot of times they kind of lock them away. You can't talk to people, but I like that vibe where you're able to have good access to the players, able to talk to them, and just able to interact. That's super cool. That is awesome.
Yes,
it feels like one of the upsides of USL.
Definitely.
Noticing from when I've been to games in other places. That's seeing that culture. Do you all have places you travel to that are kind of within an easy target to make away games happen for your supporters?
We obviously, when Oklahoma City had the team, definitely we're there. I think the last game there we had about 100 members be able to show up, but that's also 2 hours away. The problem is where we're at in the East, and our closest team is Memphis, and that's almost 6 hours away. But we usually, like last year or year before, we probably about 20 to 30 people still showed up on that. Probably the closest more people to show up would probably be San Antonio. But that's, we're a difficult location because it is, 6 hours to anywhere, at least to any team.
Yeah,
we feel you on that. Is what Phoenix is 6 hours, Vegas is 5 or 6. Orange County is our close one. Yeah,
that's true.
If that's 5 or 6 without traffic, and then it could be much worse. That it could take 8 or 9. We have Orange County just up the road. That would be the closest of our USL teams, and then a little further away we've got Monterey and Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
But
and
those
Sacramento,
are and Sacramento. Those are all a good day's drive, or flights.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely
I'm feeling you there on the distance.
Definitely a journey for sure.
Mm.
So Steve, share with us anything else that you want to talk about, man. Like, something that we didn't maybe get to, or something that you or just want to share with us about the supporters group.
We definitely, being a 501c3 organization, we go out and do a lot of community outreach and fundraisers and stuff like that. Like this year we did, past few years we've done the polar plunge for Special Olympics. This year we raised about over $9,000 for Special Olympics of Oklahoma. We actually do a lot of challenges on Twitter, trying to get donations from other teams and other states. We definitely do a lot of community cleanups. We actually have signs out front of Taft Stadium, the Oklahoma City's team, Energy's team, because we clean the streets there. And so this mile is adopted by 83 United or 918 Brigade. So they still have that remembrance of us anytime they drive up and down their stadium, down around the stadium.
That is cool, man. And it's good that, I mean, I don't know. I have an opinion about this too. I feel like sometimes teams have to almost justify themselves, but doing this kind of work is just really out of the warmth of our hearts, and a lot of people get involved with this stuff because they love their city and the community. And that is awesome. And I know San Diego Loyal also has those types of things, and it's great that people are involved like that. I hope the rest of the community sees groups like yours and ours as really wanting to be involved in what it means to be, a Tulsan or a San Diegan and all that. So good for you guys, man. That's awesome. That is great. It was great.
Steve,
appreciate it.
What did you all plunge into?
We plunged into, usually the past few years is there's an amusement park, a water park here called Big Splash Safari Joe's. And they fill up a pool, and it's in early February, so it's still kind of chilly. Usually the water temperature is about 40, 43 degrees. So
it's almost freezing.
We jump in head first and swim a lap, whatever we got to do.
That's earning it.
I just want to let you know that you're talking to people who, when it gets to be about 65, complain about how cold it is outside.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah. It was 68, 67 in my place today, and I turned on the heater. Just saying, man.
Yeah, well, last year when you guys came to town, our first game and we played with you, it was actually that night was like 40 degrees, and I remember Donovan had like 3 jackets on.
I knew you were going to say something like that, man. That's why I started laughing when you started. That is, yeah, I know. I get teased like that all the time too now. So, dude, it's 65 degrees. I'm like, yeah, they should shut down the schools. Everyone go home. Oh, that is awesome.
Steve, what's the community response been when you get out and do those community service projects? Does it like help build awareness of your supporters group, of the team, of what
it's
do
usually
people say,
both.
I didn't know?
Yeah, definitely both. A lot of people don't realize that it's still that we have a team. So we definitely do a lot of engagements just to promote both us and the team. I mean, it's fun. It's more than anything. I mean, I've done nonprofits and everything for years, and you know, charitable giving is always one of my favorite things to do. So, I mean, it's just fun to be able to promote, you know, hey, we're trying to help you, but hey, if you want, you can come and watch a game with us.
That is super cool. That is super cool.
Do you find it grows the fan base?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we always are gaining members every game, every season, because a lot of times we're out on the street, you know, doing the tailgating. They're like, what is this for? And it's like, hey, you want a beer? You want a soda? You want a hot dog? I mean, and there's like, this is free. And it's like, yeah, just come in the game and sit in our section. And it's very organic.
That is cool.
So
sorry,
about your section, about how many people do you get at a game, like for your supporters section? What are your numbers looking like? And then I have a follow-up with your supporters
I think right around our official numbers right now is like 113, 120. By the end of the season, we'll be probably about 160, 170. But we'll probably in the stands, I mean, especially on the weekends, we'll probably have 200-300. I mean, our section seats 400. So, I mean, and our section will be up on the front and it'll just merge it together. It's just not 115, it's 116, 114. So
my follow-up question, this is from one of our local members, because, you know, well, I'll give you the other stuff, but I have not seen too many of your games, but do you guys do smoke some kind of pyro at your games?
Yes, definitely. I'm actually one of the guys that sets it off.
So
we have a few.
Here's the thing for us in California. We have some very strict rules about that. It's something we have been fighting to try to get. In fact, this is, I don't think, an exaggeration. There's something like 6 people in the state who are certified to actually be able to do that. We have to hire one of those. The team does. We don't.
Oh, wow.
But how do you guys go about, what are the rules for you guys to do pyro in the stadium, to smoke?
Basically, like I said, the team is very liberal on it. We basically have to sign a waiver, and anybody that signed a waiver can pop a smoke.
Oh man, that is.
Yeah, I'm envious.
We've got a liquid smoke machine, and so run a really, really long extension cord. So if you ever see smoke at our game, it's someone hit the button, and
thought
and
You can always do West Ham and just bubbles.
right. Yeah. Well, that's kind of our women's team for the Wave does that. So that's
okay.
That's kind of their thing.
Hey, I thought I saw smoke like a couple games ago. Did we have one of those 6 people at the game? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Every once in a while,
Okay,
the
I
team
didn't
will.
realize it was 6 people. What the hell?
Yeah, well, when I talked with the guy, he said, yeah, it takes a couple years to be certified because of all the legal requirements and the way it's classified.
Wow.
So
Holy,
yeah, we are envious of everybody else who just gets to, use any of those devices and
smoke. Like you envy the smoke.
yeah.
That is
It's definitely just our section that does it. So
Right.
So Markland, John, I don't know if I have any other questions. You guys have anything else you want to follow up with, or anything you guys want to ask?
It's something else about the section. So what's it like? Are you all going the full 90 minutes? Is it sing a few, kind of chill and?
Yeah, we do a lot of chanting, a lot of heckling with the posers, and a lot of us try and get the keeper to laugh more than anything.
Yeah,
it's not like trying to name call or anything else. It's just trying to get them to respond to us more than anything. Because if they're responding to us, they're not paying attention to the game.
Yeah, there's been a couple times where I've yelled to a player that he forgot to tie his shoes. One guy actually checked and he missed the ball and it ended up going into goal. I was like, that was me. I did that. Thank you.
Good job, Sal.
Everybody in the set, it was in 104 on the 103, I think it was, or whatever. Everyone was laughing at me. I had a few beers, but yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you guys do that because it works. It works.
I did have a quick question. Because I haven't done any research or looked at it, but do you know when the Energy is supposed to be fielding a team again? Do you know what their situation is? Because that was your big rival, right? And that was...
It is, and it was. They were, quote unquote, supposed to field a team this year, and then in the month before the season started, they announced, "No, we're not going to do it this year." I mean, it's a love and hate thing with them not fielding a team, because I mean, we love to rib them about it, but we also feel bad for the soccer community there. It's been a kind of rough thing with it because it's always a last minute, and they're quiet on all their social medias, and then everybody's asking, when are you going to be back? And the last thing I heard is maybe 2025, 2026. But I don't know, because that's about the time their franchise is going to be up. So hopefully soon.
Yeah, because as you said, you guys are in, just at least with the number of teams we have, in kind of an unfortunate spot of distance and everything, and not having a close rivalry game. At least to do in the meantime. And as we were speaking pre-show, Steve and I, because I had mentioned to Steve, because I was talking with someone last night at our game, and said, "Why isn't Tulsa in the West?" And Steve, what was your response?
We are the new St. Louis, because St. Louis would be in the West one year and in the East next year, just being geographically center of the entire country. And then when St. Louis left, now it turned us, we're going to be in the East now. And we've been in the East just 2, maybe 3 years, but we've been in the West, since 2015. But ever since St. Louis left, now we're in the middle spot. And I'm pretty sure next year we'll be back in the West with all the New Orleans and everybody else coming in next year.
Right. There
we'll
seem
be
to
in
be
the
a
West
few more
again.
teams coming in the East. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we might be getting some home and away series with you.
Yes.
So I'm just curious how the St. Louis people feel. You guys seeing you're in St. Louis?
That's always a lot of the St. Louis people would come down here for games, and then we would go up there a lot because it's 6 hours away, and that's always been their joke of, okay, which division are we going to be in this year? And I mean, literally before you started your team, they would every other year, they would be East, then West, then East, and then West every season. So
staying, we're going, we're staying, we're going. What's happening? So Mr. Nick Duffy, our capo, right?
Yeah.
Is asking if you have any questions for us.
Well, where did you get started from? I know kind of about the locals, so I don't really know everything about it. So tell me what's going on with that.
You are in luck because we have a gentleman here on the panel who goes by the name of John Cross, who put this documentary together about that whole very journey. So, John, I'll let you answer that question.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a lot to unpack. I will plug the documentary. If you go to our Bum TV channel on YouTube, there is a link to the series. It's an 8-chapter thing I did after the first season. So that was kind of my contribution to everything starting, as I did a little docu-series of how we came together as a supporter group to support this new team that was going to be in the USL Championship. But I think one of the big things for us as locals is, I say Marklin alluded to it a little bit in his question to you. We go 90 minutes in the stands, go strong for 90 minutes. We try to keep things directed towards our team. So always singing and chanting and supporting for our team. And just trying to reach out and be connected with part of the community as well. That's important for us. And just hopefully trying, and that's part of what this series is about, is to be welcoming to other supporter groups as well, because we all love this game. And while we maybe, have the rivalry while we're sitting in the seats for those 90 minutes, before and after, we ought to be able to get together and have a beer and share good soccer stories. So that's, in a nutshell, that's a little bit. We have a couple other people I see online. Maybe they'll add something else to the chat. But those are some of the big things that we try to do.
Yeah, and I think the inclusivity of the community is important to the locals, as well as representing San Diego. I feel like we've managed to, within the supporter group, have a vibe that feels very authentically San Diego, whatever that is, kind of casual and welcoming and chill.
And we are not the only supporter groups. That was a question I had for you, Steve, is are there any other supporter groups for FC Tulsa? Because we do have other groups that sit with us in 109. So we are not all of 109 for our section. I mean, it's Chavos and it's the Rainbow Loyals and the Fiends. And, there's several groups that sit there. And I think we do generally a very good job of all coming together to present a good game day experience. But there are other supporter groups. I don't want to leave any of them out and make it seem like we are the only ones over there that support the loyal.
Yeah, well, definitely. We have the 918 Brigade. I'm actually really good friends with him. Mario. He also does the podcast, the Outsiders podcast for the team. Really, that's main two. We have a couple other ones that are in the works, but they haven't branched out all the way yet. But it's mainly just us and 918 Brigade.
And we're getting a couple of comments from the chat. First, I want to bring up this comment from Amanda Rich that we need to convince you to come out for a trip here. But we will say you guys you're always welcome to come out, and if you let us know ahead of time, we'll tell you where we're doing our pregame and postgame and stuff. And you're
definitely
again, always welcome
that would
to come out.
That's my girlfriend, by the way.
Okay.
Oh,
and then
so somebody just wants to go to the beach.
I get it.
have
So
you,
we need to get you and a friend to come out to the beach, right?
Yes,
Not
definitely.
Just you.
Yes.
have you been to before? Or? Yeah.
No, I've actually. Fun fact: I've actually never been to an ocean. I've been landlocked my entire life. So
I've never been to Tulsa, but now that we have friends over there,
and we know good taco places.
Yes,
we know about
definitely.
the hot dogs, right?
I feel like I'm from there.
Empire Bar, it's on the list.
Yes.
So Nick Duffy, he's our capo, but he is also a New Zealander. So he wants to know if you've been taking care of his Kiwi brethren, Moses Dyer.
Yeah, definitely. I think he really loves it here. We definitely want to take care of him. He's a very personable guy. And what he played at Winnipeg, I believe it was before. And they were asking when he was coming to Tulsa, he was asking, where's Tulsa and how is Tulsa? And it's like, everybody's telling him it's Winnipeg. It's the exact same people. So, just a friendly, go love him.
Nice.
And I would be remiss if I didn't add this extra comment.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, listen to Amanda. I think she's onto something there.
but she is accurate. I just want to say.
Okay.
It is amazing and beautiful out here.
Yeah, and actually the stadium that we play in, the college there was voted like one of the top, like they're one of the most beautiful campuses or whatever, I think a couple of years back, right, guys? USD. You can actually see the ocean from there. It's pretty on a clear day.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty nice.
You get a nice sunset over the Pacific around, depending on the time of year,
nice.
But around kickoff. So it's a nice view as well.
Yeah, up on the hill. So we're facing, our supporters section is facing west. So we get that sunset view if we're there at the right time of day. It's
nice.
It's amazing.
That's always nice.
We also get to see the marine layer and the clouds coming in when it rains on us, believe it or not. Which happened actually. That was a bummer.
And then we had another question here from Nick, and he actually added a correction on here. So what are you doing when you aren't doing soccer things? What are some of your other passions that you pursue?
Well, I work all the time, mainly. When I'm not working, I do lots of hobbies, woodworking, ring making, stuff like that. So I'm always constantly doing. I can't sit still for 5 minutes. So, really, it's basically that's it. Soccer is mainly what my go-to. So
that's your big passion.
Yep.
Nice.
Do you have any other teams you support? Internationally or?
Yeah. I am the Chelsea fan. We're struggling this year, but I'm one of the very few in Tulsa that's actually a Columbus Crew fan, because that's the first game I ever watched an MLS play. I have a lot of family in Columbus, and went and watched the inaugural season in the Horseshoe in Ohio State.
All right.
So was a fun thing, and I've been hooked ever since on them.
And yeah, I get a question for you about that too, Steve. So like in here in San Diego, we have a lot of like EPL supporters groups. Do you guys kind of like intermingle, or do you guys like kind of bounce around together like those groups?
Yeah, we have our own chapter, Chelsea chapter here, the Tulsa Blues. And there is also a Spurs chapter, a Man U chapter.
I'm a Tottenham supporter, man. Nice. No, that's super cool, because I think what like the kind of the theme of like a day of watching soccer here for us is like we go to the super early games, and then later on we all go to the the loyal games in the afternoon, which is good because you get to drink a few beers this is how my day goes, is I drink a few beers in the morning, go home, sleep, and come back a professional partier. I'm like, dude, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. But those people, we all kind of like, we all kind of hang out together.
I don't think I envy you on those. It'd be 6 o'clock games here. That's what, 4 a.m.
We get some 4 and 4:30 start times.
Yeah. Those are super tough, man. We got a 7 a.m. this game this morning, but we also got the loyal afterwards. So, or is that? I think that's right. So, I mean, it's
this game is actually pretty early.
Yeah, it is
for you guys.
I don't think have we ever played a 2 p.m. game?
I
don't think, and not on a
I'm
Saturday.
not aware of.
I mean, I think it's just because of the holiday weekend, really.
Yeah, I'm sure
our early games are Sundays if we play.
Yeah. When I saw a 4 p.m. kick, for us a 4 p.m. kick, and I started thinking about it, I was like, that's 2 there. It's a brunch tailgate.
Yeah, at least it will be a little. What you guys are 2 hours ahead, right?
Yes,
Central Time. Yeah, it'll be in the afternoon for you guys. But yeah, that'll be kind of an early game for us to
pre-gaming with mimosas.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go home and like sleep off the Spurs. I don't know what we're gonna deal with this weekend, but whatever it is, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to sleep off the misery.
Just get driven straight to the stadium. There we
go. Keep the drinking going. Oh man. Mr. John, anything else?
No, I think that's it. I think we got most of the questions out of the chat, and I think I have all my questions.
Cool. And how about
I've asked? So, Marco, how about you?
Look forward, Steve, to meeting you at a game sometime. Whether it's
most definitely.
Whether it's out here or whether we make a road trip to Tulsa, those are all good things.
24-hour road trip.
Put it out to your members and fans. If they're out here, we're going to be making the noise during the game, but before and after, come say hi. Win or lose, we drink the brews. That's
exactly. Definitely.
Let's go. Yeah. Dylan says, thanks for joining, Steve. This has been, there you go.
Yeah, I think Dylan kind of speaks for all of us here. So it's been an awesome chat. We really appreciate you making the time to be able to do this. And we tried to find a time, right, to allow for our 2-hour time difference. So usually we go later for us, a start time, but we didn't want to put you starting at, 10 or 11 at night for the podcast.
I appreciate it.
We do thank you for making the time so we could put this together.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate it. Nice to meet you. Same thing, man. If I ever get out there, it'll be cool.
Will do.
Good times.
Definitely.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for Kicking It with the Locals. Thank you, everybody that was able to join us. We really appreciate it. We'll put out this episode soon. Check us out next week. I'm sure John will bring somebody just as special as Steve today. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Thank you.